The SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States, that was set up in 1934 following the Wall Street crash of 1929 and during the Great Depression, continues to attack and go after crypto firms and cryptocurrencies. But is it now losing this battle, not only due to the crypto industry fighting back, but also because of the US Supreme Court and from within the SEC itself? That's what we'll be looking at in this video. So please do like the video and subscribe to the channel so I can continue to offer more content for you in future. Just a reminder that nothing contained here is financial advice. And let's jump straight in and take a look at why the SEC is starting to lose its battle against crypto. Firstly, the SEC is still suing large crypto firms, for example through its ongoing charges against Binance, the largest crypto exchange, Binance US, and its former CEO, CZ, with a judge ruling that the SEC can proceed with its lawsuit against Binance for its ICO, sales of BNB, staking, failing to register, and fraud. The regulators claim that CZ acted as a control person, will also proceed, even though he was sentenced to 4 months in prison on a different charge of violating money laundering laws. But he dismissed the SEC's claim that BNB is traded illegally on secondary markets, citing the similar decision on Ripple. Its claims related to Binance's passive income feature called Simple Earn, and regarding all sales related to the BUSD stablecoin. And this isn't the first we'll hear in this video of the SEC not getting what it wants and having its power overruled, but a hearing is due to take place in this case on Tuesday the 9th of July. Secondly, on the 28th of June 2024, the SEC sued Consensys, alleging that MetaMask acted as an unregistered securities broker, a bit like with Binance, and that its staking and swap products broke federal securities laws. The SEC also targeted Ethereum staking services, Lido and Rocket Pool, which are third-party platforms that MetaMask uses for its staking feature, calling their crypto tokens STETH and RETH unregistered securities. This is after Consensys sued the SEC, trying to block it from being able to file this lawsuit, and Consensys called this latest action regulatory overreach, saying that it's confident that the SEC doesn't have the authority to regulate a software interface like MetaMask and will keep fighting. So this was just two examples of the SEC using its power to sue large crypto firms. And it does this under the guise of protecting investors, promoting fairness and efficiency, and facilitating capital formation. But is this really the case when rug pulls, scams, hacks, etc. continue to take place? Or is the SEC simply attacking these larger platforms because simply they're easier to attack, because the settlements that they receive are larger, which helps fund the SEC, and because of the larger media attention that they bring? Even the SEC states on its own website that the federal securities laws empower the SEC with broad authority over all aspects of the securities industry. However, the crypto industry continues to fight back against these attacks, lack of clarity, and abuse of power, with Coinbase suing the SEC again on June the 27th, following its ongoing legal battles after being labelled an illegal exchange that offers unregistered securities, which is the third time we've seen that in this video. But Coinbase is also suing the FDIC, which is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, saying that both regulators failed to comply with the Freedom of Information Act, as Coinbase asked for records to be released related to Ethereum 2.0 when it moved from proof of work to proof of stake, to clarify whether it was still not seen as a security, which of course wasn't communicated, and which still hasn't been released. Coinbase is doing this through an intermediary that it hired and that it's working with called History Associates, who are suing the FDIC, as you can see here, with History Associates stating that the SEC the FDIC and the Federal Reserve Board have used every tool at their disposal to try to cripple the digital asset industry. Coinbase also accuses the SEC with attempting to exclude the crypto industry from the banking sector by pressuring banks to cut off crypto firms from it. Because is the SEC itself losing the battle against the crypto industry with a record amount of donations given to cryptocurrency political action committees, or PACs, such as Fairshake, which has received over $169 million to influence regulation, politics, etc., from crypto giants like Coinbase, Ripple, Andreessen Horowitz, Jump, the Winklevoss twins, Circle, Payward, and many venture capital or VC firms. Because the chief of the crypto asset and cyber unit in the enforcement division of the SEC, David Hirsch, has very recently quit his role. And in some big recent news, the US Supreme Court has on Thursday the 27th of June, in a large 98-page document that you can see the beginning of here, ruled that the US SEC is to be stripped of its power to be able to use in-house judges when accusing and charging firms with securities fraud or abuse. It was given this power in 2010 following the 2008 financial crisis, but it was decided by the Supreme Court in a 6-3 vote that this was a violation of the constitutional right to have a trial with an independent federal judge and a jury. So the SEC will need to rely on federal trial courts to enforce securities laws and apply fines in future, which is positive news for the crypto industry, given that this reduces the SEC's power to pretty much do what it wants and charge crypto firms and individuals in-house. And then, just one day after this decision by the Supreme Court, on the 28th of June 2024, in another blow to the SEC and its attack on crypto, the Supreme Court overturned the Chevron doctrine that was created all the way back in the 1980s that allowed federal regulators to enforce their interpretation of quite ambiguous laws. And when we think of crypto, we can particularly think of securities laws and the Howey test. But the presiding judge called the Chevron doctrine unworkable, saying that it allowed agencies to change course even when Congress has given them no power to do so. So this reduces the power of the SEC to make its own decisions without the court's agreement. And without this Chevron doctrine, the SEC could find it harder to enforce its continued attack on the crypto industry in the absence of clear regulation. But that ends this video looking at the SEC's continued attack on crypto, on the crypto industry's fight back, and on the recent news of the SEC's reduced powers. And as always, I'd love to know what you think in the comments below about it. And if you are interested in more of a tailored approach to your crypto education, and you think you'd benefit from having someone look over your shoulder and guide you on your journey, I do offer one-to-one coaching to those who have the desire and the means to educate themselves further. And there are links in the description where you can message me and book in a free video call to see if we'd be a good fit. And if you found this content interesting, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it really does help. And have a great day.